Hello dealers, my name is Daniel Pock. I'm here today to show you how to do the assembly on the long-awaited 2010 Flyscooters. And voila. Alright, so you kind of have to fiddle with this axle to get it out. What I've done is I've taken my wrench here and wiggle it back and forth. The key thing is you want to make sure that the scooter is in line here with the axle. And then at that point, you should be able to wiggle it out. Once you wiggle it out, it's not quite at the balance point, so you're going to have to pick it up. And what I do is I just sit down on my tush here and then I prop it up with my feet. Get some good brake cleaner in here. And you can get it sprayed out here so it cleans everything off. And also once I do that, I like to wipe it. You'll see a lot of gunk coming off of this that's on there at the factory side that once you actually do start braking, you'll have stronger brakes. I'm going to sit down, put my feet under it. If you have two people, sometimes it's easier. You can really get it done with one person. And I'll get the scooter lined up so I have space to actually get the front wheel in. If you notice here, there's two little tabs that you're going to want to line up with the tabs that are on this brake cover right here. And inside of here is your worm gear, or your speedometer driver. I'm not sure if you can see it. So, what we're going to do, let's get this up in here. Actually, you pull this little plastic piece off. It's probably easier so you can get everything in there. And then, I'll just go ahead and get this placed in the right direction into the hub. Then you have a little spacer piece, looks like that. That goes on this side of the wheel. You just slide it in. You can see the way direction it slides in just based on the size. We're going to line our axle up, slide it through. Here again, I might use my wrench to help kind of guide it through. Socket, and just make sure that this is down nice. Settled in. The next thing that we're going to do is we took the foot pegs off on the other side. Go ahead and take those out of the container. The bolts that you need to put this on are located in the box that was right here originally. So, go ahead and grab that bag of bolts. As you can see on here, we have our side stand, and we have 4 spaces to put the bolts through on the foot pegs. Alright, so what we're going to do here is you can see we have our foot pegs, we have the 4 spaces to put our bolts through, and then we have our start run switch, which we're going to stick onto the side stand here. A lot of times customers will call in and say, my scooter's not starting, my scooter's not starting. What happens primarily is that they have the side stand down and their kill switch is on. It's a little tricky. Sometimes it's easier if you have 2 people. You're going to see that you have a place to mount. There's a little mark on the side of the engine where the side stand lines up. You also need to pull down the brake lever, the rear brake pedal, on the bottom side and slide this under it when you put this up. So I'm going to go ahead and hand tighten these in first. And if you look here, you see this hose. This is your gas line. You need to make sure that your gas line is hooked up to your carburetor. Your carburetor has a manual fuel flow petcock, so you can turn your gas on and off however you want. You can also access that petcock from the side of the scooter through this little panel, which you should be able to pop off to get into there. Just be careful when you put the screwdriver under there that you don't scratch the plastic up, because you can scratch it up pretty easily. So this is the hose that I was referring to earlier, right here. Boom. What we want to do is, if you see here on the back of that petcock, you can just take a pair of needle nose and slide it on. This is going to be one of the best investments you can get. You can buy them at Harbor Freight. I think they're probably all of about $4. Grab your twisted end pair of needle nose pliers. The key is, when you put this on, you want to grab it close to the tip end of the hose, because if you grab it back too far, you're not going to be able to squeeze it over the nipple. So you start squeezing it on slowly, and after a couple attempts, you should be able to get it on. Alright, there we go. So now we've got our fuel line connected. After you do that, you can pop your cover back on. So you can see that's where the fuel on, fuel off switch is. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Alright, so we have a battery, and the battery will sit right in here. To access the battery, we need to take off this cover here. Alright, so here's our incredibly huge battery that we'll be using. Our battery acid right here, and our cap for our battery acid. Make sure it's lined up well and put it on. And then it's just going to be a matter of time letting it drain. And letting it drain, we're going to, I like to let it sit, and then I'll put it on a trickle charge overnight. And then we should be good to go. So after that, I'm just going to put it all back together, and we'll be good to go. So now what we're going to do, like we have on every pre-delivery inspection, this is at least this is how I do it. I start from the front of the scooter and I work my way back. I'm going to check my tire pressure, and then check to make sure my brakes are correctly adjusted. These are not. Obviously, with any drum brake, you're just going to tighten down the end nut. Make sure you have a little bit of play so the wheels can spin freely. It's a little too much there. Still a little too much. These are, after you take it for your test ride, you're going to have to check it again. So I'm going to check this. I'm going to retorque my axle, nut and bolt. I'm going to go through everything, make sure everything's nice and tight, make sure everything's nice and clean. I'm going to change the engine oil. We recommend 10W30. Make sure it's a good quality scooter oil, good quality motorcycle oil. Don't use a car oil, use a good quality scooter oil. As you know, this is going to be your kickstart. Your exhaust comes with a nice film of oil on it. Go ahead and wipe that off. It's a rust inhibitor. Like with any scooter, any motorcycle, I recommend using a good CLR. This is calcium lime rust preventer. Spray it on, make sure your scooter stays pretty for the duration of your time with it. Back brake, same thing. We can go ahead and adjust it right here. The back seat is actually kind of cool. So on this model in particular, we have two seats. With the back seat's removable, so you can take it off and you can use this as a luggage rack. There's a couple of interesting facts for you. It's the most widely sold vehicle in the entire world. More cars, more motorcycles, more boats. Nothing's been sold as many as the Honda Passport, and this is pretty much a direct copy of it. With your shifting, it's a centrifugal clutch style shift. So to go forward, you put it in first gear. Obviously you're going to start it up, make sure you have your side stand up, your run kill switch on run. When you get going, put it in first gear, you stomp down once, that's first gear. Second, third, fourth, that has 4 gears. To come back down, you go on the back gear. 3, 2, 1, neutral. And you're there to go. If you have any questions, like I said before, give us a holler. Hope you saw a lot and hope you enjoy your Fly Scout. Thank you.